Hello and welcome to Coin Lady channel. The XYO headline is as follows. XRP and other cryptocurrencies are about to experience a parabolic spike after this game-changing Ripple agreement. Well, a couple of things first. I think it's feasible, perhaps likely, that XRP is about to experience a meteoric increase. However, the reason I say this is vastly different from the one given in this post. In fact, I go out of my way to contradict the subject matter discussed here. I have to be picky about what I write about every day, and there are moments when I find myself on the fence about what to write about. There's just not enough time to write about everything. In other words, I talk for around an hour and a half every day, every time I record. There may be exceptions, but generally speaking that's all there is to it. I take that and divide it into 3 videos. That's right, I host a brief radio show every day, and it's pretty much the same thing. So, I have to be very picky about the topics I cover. I almost went into considerable detail about one particular subject since, despite its seeming interest, it is quite similar to other topics on which I have already spoken at length. Therefore, I shall discuss it here. But I want to make it clear that they're mistaken if they assume this is what will drive the price of XRP, because there are strong indications that the XRP price is poised to make a significant upward move right now. That's not impossible, in my opinion. But before we go any further, let me make it perfectly clear that I'm in no way qualified to give financial advice. So, you shouldn't make any financial decisions based on what I say. I'm merely a hobbyist who likes to share his knowledge on crypto-related issues through YouTube videos. But only as a pastime and for entertainment purposes. And before we get started with this video, I wanted to say something. Just a personal anecdote from my time spent in the crypto world. And that made me laugh in an odd way. So, I thought I'd bring this up. You might have heard the news that Coinbase airdropped Flare tokens to their customers yesterday after delaying the shutdown a month ago. The fact that they were sued by an XRP community member's lawyer, Fred Rispoli, on behalf of people, is unforgivable in my book. However, that is not the same as the fact that they have not yet surrendered the Songbird token. The case did have the positive side effect of speeding up the distribution of the Flower token, though. So, it's possible that you deserve part of the praise. Did you get Flare from Coinbase today? If so, you should start using it right away, according to a tweet from the Flare community account, which is displayed on the screen. To be eligible for delegation incentives and future Flare airdrops, I advise withdrawing, wrapping, and delegating. The guide is linked to in the previous sentence. I did wrap and assign my Flare, so it's something I'd recommend looking into if you're interested. That, however, is something very else. I'm not bringing this up for that purpose. I bring this up once more since I read an article the other day claiming that not only does Coinbase participate in the airdrop, but that users may also buy and sell Flare on the platform as well. And I thought, that doesn't sound right, because I had just heard earlier in the day that Coinbase plans to enable trading in Flare on their platform if certain liquidity requirements are met. And, of course, I understand why that is okay. They want to profit on the flyer's sale even if it takes them a few minutes to get things rolling. So, fine, why not? So, I found that to be rather odd. Instead of spending time conducting a thorough online search to determine whether or not these claims were contradictory, I just logged into my Coinbase account. I was using my phone to enter the 2FA I received when I decided to log into my Coinbase account. In addition, I key in since there is a link where you can specify the item you wish to analyze. So I go ahead and enter an FLR, which stands for Flare, and I see that it cannot be traded. So the crypto media outlet was wrong, but that's to be expected from a group of CS students, so it's fine. Trading will eventually pick up, but I wanted to bring this up because when I first saw the screen, I thought, holy freaking help. Seriously, Coinbase sent me a Flare in the form of an airdrop. Now, I've had custody of my XRP since its inception, the end of 2017 to be exact. And that was shortly after I had jumped into crypto and was like, I've never left my XRP in exchange. So, following the purchase, I turned off the exchange and put it in my own private storage. I have several Ledger hardware wallets that I utilize. What the hell, I got a whole Your Flare airdrop on Coinbase, explained that. And at that point, I understood what had transpired. Since I usually don't disclose my portfolio, I thought it would be helpful to let you know when I experienced a significant decline in my flare. This doesn't do my flare justice at all. More than this is in my possession. My surprise airdrop was on Coinbase, if that's where you're looking. This much I can guarantee you. It was exactly 1.5 on the flare, or 0.15. I don't understand why I was given a plus 15.0 flare. For my airdrop, I had 1 XRP on Coinbase on the snapshot date in December of 2020. It turns out that 1 XRP has been sitting on Coinbase the whole time, and I had no idea. After the year 2020 August. I didn't even know that. It seems my cryptography is quite shoddy. I certainly wasn't planning on taking exclusive custody of the kid. As a result, I burst out laughing. Oh my god, I thought, this is ridiculous. I have deposited 1 XRP into it. And now I have the flare of a 10.15. I'm just going to abandon the whole thing. I won't be touching it. I had to get out of here. First of all, I don't buy cryptocurrency very often, and secondly, my schedule is very full as it is. Larger purchases can be the cause sometimes. And I explain my role in the company. However, there are a few residual coins, mostly pennies and quarters, that I'm not legally allowed to keep in self-custody. We've all been there, right? As if you were having a conversation. You had to do the maths of what the exchange fee would be, or the network fee would be, or else the transfer would fail, and this was especially true in earlier years where there wasn't, and it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. That was incredibly frustrating. I'm going to change things such that by 2023, it's not such an issue. However, this issue used to be far more widespread. I used to always be in the habit of saying things like, well, just leave the little scrap, I don't care, and this was especially true in my first couple of years working in crypto. There is hardly any difference. As a result, I was given these slivers of change from various deals. Not only did I ignore them, but I also failed to recognize that one of them was XRP. So, I've got a flare, and I'm going to use airdrop to send it to you. Your crypto is in custody. But as far as XRP is concerned, this is a, upward trend. The headline again, XRP poised for parabolic rise after game-changing Ripple deal. This was in the news the other day, and I didn't feel like discussing it because it relates to a topic that, although undoubtedly significant, is not the most pressing concern for those of us who own XRP. The ecosystem as a whole benefits, especially when we're discussing XRP role as a key component in accelerating the rate at which money may be transferred. But there have been other advancements along these lines as well. It's not something that really annoys me. I'm relieved. I'm not sure it really is a major factor in setting prices. Indeed, I believe there is sufficient evidence to suggest that whatever Ripple does, it has no effect on pricing. If the SEC decides to sue Ripple, it will have a negative effect on the price. However, Ripple is completely ineffective. More than Ripple, the Securities and Exchange Commission affects the value of XRP. Yes, that is a proven fact. The epic, though, goes as follows. Ripple, a blockchain payments company that has been in a legal battle with the US Securities and Exchange Commission for years, recently announced that it had entered into an agreement with the Central Bank of Montenegro, CBCG, to launch a pilot program for a central bank digital currency. The collaboration, which was originally mentioned in January, is working to create a new national currency for a country that has been using the euro until now. The price of XRP is said to have risen in response to the announcement. However, this was in tandem with a general uptick in the cryptocurrency market. The premise of this article is that the price of XRP might potentially go parabolic because of the favorable news. In my opinion, it's ridiculous. Having been invested in this market and in XRP since 2017, I can say with confidence that the cryptocurrency's price does not rise in response to positive news announcements made by Ripple. And we find out that there are so many XRP holders that don't even realize that what Ripple is currently, especially now. It's not like the news breaks and the price action is worthy of a parabolic move, and then a week later it actually happens, so it's not strange that the market hasn't responded to the news by moving in the direction we expected. What a load of rubbish. Since this is obviously not true, I felt compelled to offer a rebuttal. And you know me, I'm Mr. XRP. Bull XRP is my preferred cryptocurrency at the moment, and I currently hold over 30 different cryptocurrencies. For many years, I have been explaining why XRP is the best cryptocurrency to own. However, it isn't the case here. So, why can XRP have a meteoric rise in price? Let's put it into layman's words, shall we? The cryptocurrency market is just starting to rise. And then there's the upcoming completion of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, which I believe is likely to be great for XRP holders, even if Ripple technically loses, because the outcome will still provide XRP holders with a strong, good route forward. In my opinion, the market reacts positively. Then the price of XRP would skyrocket. That's what I think will happen. Anyhow, nobody can say for sure. But I think there's solid evidence to suggest it could actually happen. That truly vital information being compared to this. I find it hard to believe. And once more, just in case it wasn't obvious what they were talking about here, Ripple, and they disclosed this years ago, Ripple effectively produced a template blockchain that any nation can use to construct their own central bank digital currency. It is a fork of the original XRP ledger, which is freely available software. That's why a model is the first step. Well, it is what it is, and I don't know the details, but it can also be modified, because, whenever a central bank or digital currency is launched, it's kind of important that you have complete and utter control over it, especially if your country's monetary sovereignty is at stake. Don't you think that's kind of unimportant if you're the leader of a country? Is there any way to reverse transactions in a decentralized system in the event of a defect that would otherwise render them irreversible? Why wouldn't you want that ability? What if you wanted to debase your currency by printing more of it out of thin air, as governments frequently do, especially in the United States, simply for the sake of public perception? So, it's clear that you need this function. Right. That's what you want, then, as foolish as it may be to destroy your currency. Indeed, that is the case. So, it's off the ground now. However, the issue is that although this raises the velocity of money, it is impossible to have a pair for every possible pair on every platform. Thus, the idea is that a bridge is always required, and XRP is set up to fill that role. This is brilliant. That makes a lot of sense. Even while I have serious reservations about central bank digital currencies due to the obvious privacy and security risks they pose, I acknowledge that they are already among us. And in the future, there will be even more of them, which is something that Ripple understands. To avoid the negative effects of excessive government intrusion into the surveillance state, it is more appropriate to take the necessary precautions as a society or even as individual countries. Because it will, and has, already occurred, this is something that each nation and its people must work out for themselves. That means it will keep happening. And Ripple understands it completely. The point is that you'll have to build a bridge to connect all of this. Because of this rise in the velocity of money, there will be an increased need for bridges. When there are less hurdles to overcome and you still have a project in the works, people will be incentivized to move money more quickly, and XRP is in the ideal position to facilitate this. But that doesn't imply XRP was going to rocket upwards on the strength of this report alone. And so, the reason I didn't cover this literally yesterday, I thought about it and was like, well, it's not that it isn't newsworthy, it's just that I've covered other stuff like this before. It's not something that's, when you compare this to other stuff that's going on in crypto and with XRP, it's not something that's particularly noteworthy. In a nutshell. The trouble is, I just don't have the time to go into detail about everything. But then I read this headline again, and I just think it's wrong. You know what I mean? I didn't want to talk about it before, but now I do. This is my starting point, then. Anyway, obviously, undoubtedly, this is good news for XRP. I'm not denying that it is. In fact, I predict it will become increasingly common. And I think it will only help entrench XRP as the bridge currency, given its efficacy in this role is already well acknowledged. And XRP has something you can't program into anything else, which is liquidity, which is why you'd want it to be a bridge currency. You can't program liquidity into a cryptocurrency. Either it exists because people are buying and selling, or it does not exist because people are not buying and selling sufficiently. There we have it. That settles the matter. I'm going to leave it at that and see what feedback I get. These are fascinating times to be alive. As a matter of fact, XRP holders couldn't be happier right now. And I'll say it again, use your flair however you see fit. Nonetheless, I would recommend researching the procedure for delegating. I did it in January when I first got my hands on a large number of flare tokens. And with that, I've made my point for the day, or day before yesterday. In addition, I have purchased a large quantity of flare. So, whatever the heck happens, happens. You know, in just a few days here, we'll be having the second ever flare drop, a flare drop being distinct from the first airdrop. If the price drops, it drops, but what happens after that is anybody's guess. Maybe if you did that, I'd buy even more. In March, I made a land acquisition. As a result, I just made a huge buy. So, we shall see. But, in any case, I figured I should let you know if you recently purchased your flare on Coinbase. There are 36 flare drops available for your participation if you so like. So far, we've only had one of the 36 opportunities where action is required. Nothing will happen automatically. The great thing is that individuals who aren't interested in flare tokens are selling them, so I think the people who truly don't have interest that would otherwise keep dumping on the market if you kept giving them these tokens will actually have to make a choice. They exist, but in my opinion, the individuals who are actually interested are less likely to actually buy. People that think, yeah, I'm just gonna hang on to this and accumulate that so we'll see, I can be wrong, but that's my suspicion, as I do, are among them. Since I'm not a professional financial advisor, you shouldn't use my advice to make any investments or trades. And if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel for latest updates. See you later, bye.